Good morning, my name is Taylor Hacker, and today I'm going to be reading you my creative writing essay entitled My Other Home. Light shining, music blaring, hoofs pounding on the floor. Clippers buzzing all feel like a breath of fresh air. My home that travels the countryside like a gypsy. I find comfort in this world. While I share it with hundreds of people, this family all shares a similar desire to not only win, but to conquer all. Cutthroat competition that will joke around with you outside of the ring but will stare you down like a hungry lion when showing. A love-hate relationship where all the hate remains in a ring similar to the size of a town yard. This world holds the saying, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. All for a lilac banner with gold lettering that shines as bright as a crystal ball and flows in the breeze like a river runs. Smooth and unbroken, holding true beauty and pride. This lilac banner may not seem much to you, but to me, it means everything. Getting that banner will mean that I have won and have accomplished what I have been working on for so long. Chasing the banners, I'm chasing my dreams, I strive for the purple. When I wake up the morning of a cattle show, the brisk morning air pierces my lungs like a million needles. I have to force myself to breathe in this air as my heifer needs to be washed before the never-ending day begins. I am often the first one up, but this means I operate alone as my mother's in a deep hibernation similar to that of a bear. Being the first one has its perks. I get the wash rack to myself and I don't have to worry about the risk of a stray stream of water delivering an icy blow. The first thing to happen is getting a halter on my heifer named Hera. This takes time as she fights like a toddler, avoiding bedtime, and only gives up when she realizes she doesn't have a choice. One would assume she'd be used to this occurrence by now, but alas, she's not. Hera's as cute as a button, but as strong as an ox. With one swift kick, she leaves you black and blue for a week. Once the dilemma is finally resolved, she starts her day getting tied to the side of a trailer and is blown out with a livestock blower. I joke about how stepping in front of the blower makes her face twist up with the gale force winds. The amount of pressure coming out of the long black hose leaves no fighting chance for the straw clinging onto her fur for dear life. Some pieces manage to grasp onto the hair, wrapping around each acute sliver that the straw previously grew oats from. Some of the pieces hide deep into the undercoat and remain unseen to the eye until after her bath and pop out when she's dried for the second time. The straw is the most stubborn of all. However, removing all the straw pieces is critical as she looks her best when she's completely straw-free. When we are showing, I strive to have Hera looking her absolute best. After we blow her out, we hike over the concrete jungle each new fairground possesses. Hera throws a temper tantrum, and while she doesn't throw fists on the ground, she makes herself a giraffe by elongating her neck. Once we finally arrive at the wash rack after what feels like 100 years and many quick stops to allow the queen to throw many more tantrums, we start the tedious process of bathing the fiery redhead. At 5:30 in the morning, the air and the water are still mere degrees off of being ice when it hits Hera's body. When it hits her body, it turns into a thick vapor that looms over her. If it were not for the barn lights, a horror movie production could use her fog effect that the actors walk into. After we rinse her, she gets scrubbed with a hard plastic brush that could be mistaken as a dog toy, just without the squeaker making a shrill sound with each addition of pressure. The brush leaves rows in her hair that looks similar to a field that was just plowed under. I rinse the soap out and watch as it fades from a thick chocolate brown to a clear stream that would pass as glass in a liquid form. Once she is rinsed, I beg her to behave on the way back to the trailer and take the path that the parents claim they take to school every day. Through mountains and 3 feet of snow with nothing but a bathing suit and the $1 sandals from Walmart. I'm not sure how all of our parents managed to have to walk to school uphill, both ways, not dressed for the weather, but at any rate, supposedly, they did. I joke with my mom that though I do not walk to school these way, I walk with a ticking time bomb, and I think that's much worse. We arrive back at the trailer and park ourselves in a small 10 by 10 tent, hoping to shield from the wind that makes the droplets of water freeze onto the tips of her hair. I blow her out for the second time, causing a thick mist to slowly build a thin sheet of ice onto the trailer's side. Hera dries quickly and recovers from her time spent in the Arctic quite well. We begin to fit her legs with animal adhesive that holds each strand of hair as still as a statue. With each spray of adhesive and a brush of the comb, the hair rises from against the skin and stands on end. While kneeling down, hoping she will not set the loose canine free, and she will take mercy on me to keep all 4 of her hoofs on the ground. The adhesive itself is similar to what people use in their hair because it's just hairspray for cows. The smell is a little potent and it reminds me of my time spent in a body shop painting cars, but nothing that a quick breath of fresh air after fitting all 4 legs does not cure right away. I use a pair of clippers with twice the power of a human's pair. By these clippers, I trim the hair that refused to cooperate and chop the tops of the shaft to make a crisp, straight line. After I fit and clip, I paint the now white legs a deep blood red to match Hera's natural hair color. This takes effort as her hair is not made to match a single can of color. Matching her painted leg hair to her natural color will appeal to the judges even more, as it makes it look more natural on something that's just not. I will take the black rope off that has little white tracers ran throughout the entire rope. It gets replaced with a leather halter that is brown with a little bit of a hint of red, and she gets this one instead of a black halter, not only because she is red, but because she has a pink nose. The golden rule is black-nosed cattle get a black halter and the calf with a pink nose dons a brown one. I'm not quite sure why or when that became the rule, but it's not as if I have any control over it. No matter what the color of the halter is, Hera will throw a fit when I put it on her. Maybe it's the chain dangling beneath her chin or the fact that it's leather and not a rope. I changed into a sky blue button down and my cowboy boots paired with a dark pair of denim jeans. We are now heading up to the show arena and my heart's beating and adrenaline starts to pump. As we arrive at the ring, my heart starts skipping beats and my hands start to tremble. I see my competition walking up to the ring and my nerves build even more, and often feel the need to, escape to a nearby restroom. I check into my class and get lined up by the weight of our animals. Watching the class ahead of me walk out of the gate that once shut me out of the ring, it now welcomes me with wide open arms. Hera senses my nerves and starts swinging her rear end around like a merry-go-round. I have inner dialogue with myself. Get her head up, walk slow, but not too slow, or else she will stop. Look for cues on where to go. Okay, 3 steps out, set up, turn around, get her legs right. Okay, she's set up, make eye contact with the judges. This goes on and on. Move out of the judge's view. Do not look at the photographer or you will hate your pictures. Is he placing me? Now there are 2 of us left in the top 2 of the class. Please pick me, please. The judge then places us first. When the judge's finger goes up and he's looking at you holding 1 up, you feel like all the world has paid off. The endless nights, the countless hours and miles driven, the bills and the stress were well worth it. I finally can breathe without there being a million pounds of pressure on my chest. We take a picture in front of a backdrop showcasing each other for a single picture, and we head back to the trailer to get the adhesive out and repeat our wash process before hitting the long drive home. After I drive miles home, I wish I could teleport and cut my travel time in half. The drive back always feels longer than the trip down. I'm not quite sure why. Alas, I get to reflect on the show and already miss the pressure to look the part and be the calf that sticks out in the judge's mind. I almost want to be the thorn in the judge's side, constantly reminding him, I am here, and I'm not gonna mess around. The bright lights blaring, the loudspeakers booming like thunder, the pressure you crave, but makes your stomach turn time and time again. I also crave the adrenaline rush before I step into the ring. The pressure I feel is the nervousness and the anticipation. It's also the excitement and the thought of how good it feels to get first. The pressure also stems from the need and the desire to do well. The fear of not doing my best and failing is the part that builds up the most pressure. The cattle shows calm me just like my cows do when they demand food. It's my second home, it's my release. And it's the reason I go insane, but it's the thing that keeps me the most sane. Thank you.